Hello everyone, welcome to William and the Magic Box. Today on our show, we are going to have André. André is from Barra do Bugres in Mato Grosso, in Brazil. So let's see what André has to say. Enjoy the interview. Hello André, how are you?
I'm fine. What about you?
I'm very well. Thank you so much for taking the time this Saturday morning for the interview. Thank you very much.
I appreciate the invitation.
André, so tell me where are you from?
I live in Barra do Bugres, Mato Grosso, Brazil.
And that's the place where you're born and raised?
No, I am from Piracicaba, São Paulo.
Oh my God!
State of
Wow.
São Paulo. Yes,
Wow.
I lived. I was born there, and I did college in Minas Gerais, and
Wow.
went to Mato Grosso, 3 different states.
Why Mato Grosso? Why Barra do Bugres?
My wife graduated here. She went to college here, and when I graduated in college, and she was doing her master degree in Ouro Preto,
Right.
she got into a test to be a professor here. So she came here. I also wanted to be a professor, and there are both mine and her courses here, so we could teach together.
Amazing. And how long have you been living in Barra for?
I've been living here for 7 years.
Oh my goodness. Wow. My mom lives there. I was living there arrived in Barra when I was 12 years old, and I left Barra when I was 18 to live in Cuiabá. And yeah, my mom still lives there. My sister still lives there. So I've got a lot of friends over there. Lots.
I like here very much. Most people don't like, but I think it's a very nice town.
And what do you like the most about Barra do Bugres?
My house. I have a big house with not a big house, but a big yard, a backyard. And we have lots of plants and stuff. So it's a very calm city, and my house is very calm. We can like sit in the backyard, watch the birds while you're drinking coffee. It's something you don't have in big cities.
Amazing. And so you said you are a professor. What's your profession?
I am a professor at law. I teach law, mostly the theoretical subjects, and I'm also an English teacher at CNA.
Wow. So tell me, what do you like the most about your job, both of them?
Oh, I like teaching very much because I like studying very much. I love to find out new things. But besides that, I like to test new ways of teaching. And I can do that more in the university than in CNA because we have a method we should follow. Yep. We have some liberty, we have some freedom to like change some things, but we need to follow that. But at the university, I can change a lot of things. I can like reinvent my classes. In the pandemic, on online classes, I thought it was great because I had to do things. Most professors and teachers don't like it to teach online, but I loved online classes. I could do things I wouldn't be able to do teaching presential classes.
I see. And the class you teach is the university in Barra do Bugres, the law university?
Yes, it is.
I see. Amazing. Okay, André, so during the game, I'm going to explore more a little bit about your job, about your career, and also about your point of views. But before we start our journey within the Magic Box, tell me something interesting about yourself.
Something interesting? Well, something different. Maybe I record podcasts.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. Oh, amazing. Tell me a little bit about your podcasts.
I take part in a podcast about science, in like all kinds of science. Okay. It's called SciCast, Sci from science. And the focus is like to make science fun for everyone. And we have like different crews. It's a big team. And we have like the physics crew, the chemistry, and I take part in the social science. And I make a podcast about law. It's not a science, but it's nice to tell people about it. Basically about fundamental rights and about political science. I like very much like presidentialism, what it is, what's the executive power does, and things like this.
But your podcast goes live like very often, like every day? How does it work?
Every week.
Every week, I see.
Yes, but I don't participate every week. I just participate some of the programs.
Amazing. All right. Are you ready to go on a beautiful journey through your memories in life and to share your point of views?
Oh, yeah.
Amazing. Sure. Welcome to William and the Magic Box. So this is my best friend. Full of random fun questions, okay? I'm just going to play a song now just for us to get a bit in the mood before the first question. Let's do it. André from Barra, Bugres. Right, so before we start the game, through the journey, if there is a question that you don't want to talk about for some reason, you don't want to answer, always can change, okay? It's all very friendly, right? First question for you is, which person are you most in touch with? Like on social media or text message, which one that would be?
Definitely my wife.
I knew it.
Yeah, we are very close. We are very friends with each other.
I see.
So no doubt.
Saying that, what's the biggest similarity between both of you and what's the biggest difference?
We have very different personalities. Like she likes to plan everything ahead, and if there is something wrong with her plan, with the execution, she kind of have a little freak out and has to plan all over again. And I am more of like improvisation, and I'm very good of, I don't plan very much. I am just like do things as they come, but that makes also that I am very good in improvisation. So there is something I didn't plan for, I can very easily change that. It's two ways to face things that are equally good, I think. And similarities, we have basically the same tastes as in medias, what to play, what to watch, parties to go. We are both like don't like to socialize that much.
You're more kind of homestay. You love being at home, relaxing, and enjoying.
Yes. We like confraternizations with not too many people, just a few. We can talk. Not much of a party, but a talk. Let's talk, eat some barbecue and things like this.
Amazing. Good. Next question. Let's do it. Okay, André from Brazil. Next question for you is, what's something not many people know about you?
That's hard. I am very insecure. People usually think I am when I talk about a subject, they think I dominated and I am very secure with talking about it. But actually, I'm very insecure. I always think of what people are going to think about that I'm talking. And when I tell this somebody, they don't believe it. No, you don't seem like this.
And saying that, when you're teaching, do you feel very secure? Not because the thing that you know, of course, you're prepared for that, but do you feel yourself like, let's say, shy, or you can handle easily? How do you approach your classes?
I can handle it pretty well, but I always like when we have a new class that I don't know, and I stay a little. I don't stay shy. I talk. When I start talking, I don't stop. But it's that thing, will they like this I'm doing? When I change the method of teaching, or even when I'm teaching a new subject, it changes a little, but it don't stays in my way. I don't let it stay in my way.
I see. I understand. Good point. Next question. Let's do it. Before the next question, André, tell me, what was the most challenging part for you and your wife to adapt yourself to Barra do Bugres or the new state? And what do you miss the most of São Paulo, the state? Piracicaba, you mentioned, yeah? Piracicaba.
Yes, Piracicaba.
What do you miss the most of your hometown, your city?
I am not the kind of person that miss a lot of things. Like we have the word in Portuguese, saudade. I don't have it a lot. It's that saudade is that feeling when you miss some person or something a lot. I adapt very quick and I get very attached quickly, but I also get disattached very quick. The only exception is my wife on this. So I can't say I miss a lot of things. When I go there, I like to meet my friends, to hang out with my family, with my parents, my brother. Yeah. But I don't have I miss that so much. And I didn't like the city that much. It's not that I disliked it, but I always thought it was such a big city with so many cars and traffic jams and pollution. So I don't miss it. But I miss my family, of course. And the most difficult thing to adapt here, definitely, it was because here is a very hot city. Yeah, it's like my wife says it's like an air fryer because you have it's a hole in the middle of the mountains, and you have some hot air that stays turning around, so it's like an air fryer.
I can tell.
Today we are better because, as I said, our house is filled with trees, so we make a microclimate here that is very better.
And do you guys see yourself living there for long periods?
Yes, we are all the time we are reforming the house, making it better. We don't see ourselves moving out from here. It's not that we can't. If there is an opportunity or if there is a need, for example, with the university we are teaching the closest, it's always a possibility. We probably will live, but we don't have this plan.
I'm happy to know that, to hear from people from other states that enjoy Barra do Bugres, because Barra do Bugres is not a big town, and it warms my heart because people who live there sometimes they are moaning about I don't like the city, it's missing this.
Yes.
But when I hear people from other states, like a big city where you come from, and they kind of adapt themselves easily and they're enjoying the place where they live, why not? It makes me feel happy about it.
But I gotta say, it's much better than when I arrived here. It's has more different services, stores, places to eat. The city is growing a little bit.
Amazing. Very good. Next question for you is, what is the happiest day in your life so far, and why you consider that?
Oh, that's a tough question. I am going to say something totally cliche, and I'm going to choose my wedding. I was very happy that day. It was a great party.
Wow. And how long have you been married for?
7 years, 7 years.
And
I guess it makes 7 years in September.
I see.
We don't celebrate a lot of anniversary and even birthdays. We are not very celebrating type.
Saying that, what's the most beautiful lesson you've learned from your wife so far since you've known her?
I wouldn't say a lesson, but I've changed a lot since I know her. I like stopping it. I always was, and I still am, that kind of person that cares a lot. Not about what people think of me, but if people will like me or not. And it got a lot better. I got a lot more organized because of her. She's like my second psychologist.
Wow.
Maybe even my first psychologist and the professional one is the second, you know. So I changed it a lot. I wouldn't say a lesson, but things like this, be more careful with things. Basically, I was grown up as I don't know this word in English. I forgot. Like, I'm not a rich person. I was not a rich child, but didn't have the needs for money. So I didn't used to value things that much, like material things, and we used to break things, you know. So I learned to value money more. I learned to value my things, not in a materialistic way. And that's all because of her.
Amazing. I can see her smile, like a smile, listen to this conversation. Next one. Kendra, next question for you is, look, talking about, again, the question kind of connected with the previous. What's the most memorable lesson you learned from your parents?
My most memorable lesson: to think about others. How will others feel when I do things? Think about other people's feeling. I am a very empathic person. I always try to consider the other side, instead of just judging, you know. Oh, but how my mother has it a lot. She always sees like this kind of news of somebody doing something wrong, and she always thinks, oh, but how was that person, how is that their lives, and how is their reasons for doing that. And I think that's a good thing to think about other people. It's hard because I never judge, even when I should, but
when you had the opportunity to move to Mato Grosso, to another state, did your parents support you?
Yes, they did. They thought it was very far. They had some concerns about the city, but they are always very supportive on whatever I choose, let's say a life choice. They always like said, oh, I wish you did that, but never forced me in anything.
I see. Very good. Ready for another one?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Next question. André, before the next question, tell me how English language came into your life. How did you start the passion about the language? And also, when was the moment when you said, okay, I was born to be a professor, teach law? How law passion came into your life?
Okay, this last one is a funny story. But starting with the language, I was always in touch with English. I have another brother, like 5 years older, not 5 years old, of course. And by him, I got in touch with English, being like in video games, computer games, a little later in online games. I needed to talk in English with other people. And this brother, he went to an English school and I followed his steps. So when I was in the 5th grade, like I was about 12, I already knew a lot of English because of this contact I had with the language. But I started doing an English course and finished it. And it's very nice because I realized when I started teaching English here in Barra do Bugres, I realized that from the time I stopped learning English, studying English formally, from the time I got to be a English teacher, I learned a lot because you get in touch with the language in watching movies. I used to watch a lot of series in English and with English subtitles, or even some things, mainly cartoons, because they are a little slower without any subtitles. And you are always improving your language, your English. So after you learn it, We can say this about any language, but of course, English is a language that's more present in our lives.
Absolutely.
But I saw that I always improve my English. I remember I had already finished my classes, and my brother used to live in France. He was doing second graduation there, and I went there and I asked for. I was in McDonald's and I asked for. I want number 2, just the lunch. And the person was like, "What? No, number 2, just the lunch." It's because lunch in Portuguese is like sandwich.
Yeah.
And from that point, I am like, but how did I evolve in English? I wasn't studying anymore, but you were always in touch with the language. And sometimes I tell my students, like they say a sentence for me and it's not wrong, but I say, oh, they don't say it like this. It sounds unnatural. But I've never been for more than a couple of days in an English speaking country. So how can I know it's not natural? I think it's very nice. Now I am teaching English. I learn more like about rules and things that complement my language. But learning English is like something you have to live the language. And how I became a professor, that's a fun story, because when I was in high school and you don't know what to do, what you want to do, I considered a lot of jobs. I always liked to study. I always like to learn things. And we are in touch with like school subjects. So I considered a lot of them, like philosophy, history. I consider other things, but this like doing coursing history in college, coursing philosophy, I was like, well, but if I do this, I will only be a teacher or a professor. I think more of a teacher. I used to think more of a teacher in the time, and I said, well, I don't want to do this. So I said, no, let's see other things. And I thought of psychiatry, psychology, journalism, and I got to law. I liked it. There was a series I watched. And when I was in the second semester, I got a job with a person, a lawyer who used to live in the house, the fraternity. I lived there. And I started like working as a lawyer internship. And I said, well, I don't like this. I don't like solving other people's problem. It's not something I like. And sometime later, I entered. How do you say this in English? Like that student that helps other students with the subject. Like in Portuguese is monitoria.
It must be some like a professional name, but I would say like a supporter, like a student supporter, I would say.
But basically I teach a class, like review classes about a law subject with the professor helping me.
Right.
And I said, whoa, I want to be a professor. And from like the fourth semester, on the second semester I had touch with research in law. And the fourth I did this. I want to be a professor. I am decided, and that's weird because I just got into law because I didn't want to teach, and now I am attending to a graduation in history.
Wow, amazing!
So I went back. All connected, yeah.
Next question for you is: what do you miss the most from your childhood and why?
Well, having no responsibilities for sure. Do I need to tell you why? It's a very good time. You have no responsibilities. You play a lot. You make friends very easily. Oh, you are a kid. I am a kid. Let's be friends. It was a good time.
No bills to pay, no worries. Everything was just like the only thing you need to worry is about going to school. The only thing.
And I like it. So
very good. Next question. Let's do it. next question for you is, if you could have dinner with anyone, living or not, who that would be and why?
I would choose a dead person because I can still have dinner with living person. I can talk, like some people admire, I already talk to in the internet. So maybe a philosopher, I don't know. But I don't like any philosopher in specifics. I don't like either worship a philosopher in specific. I will say Sartre, but I'm choosing someone a little randomly.
And why?
Oh, it would be a good talk. I love to talk. I love to chat with people about interesting subjects. So just because of that.
And through your career as a professional a lawyer in law, did you have any kind of someone that you look it up to, like someone that you said, okay, that's a big inspiration for me?
No.
There was nobody.
Nobody.
Good one.
No, I like for example, I have some professors I liked a lot. That I admire because they're very intelligent. They like produce a lot of things. Taught me not only law but also how to teach and somehow not to teach.
Right.
But I don't have like big aspirations. I don't want to be like a huge lawyer, a huge a person that publishes a lot of books, because I think it's a lot of trouble for not so much happiness. I like to teach my classes to my students, and that's enough for me, you know. I think it's something very great to have enough, to being able to get enough. And some people have a lot but don't have enough. And I try to I had a professor in university, and he taught us about law and literature. And he told us about how the Greek valorized like being mediocre, but mediocre not in the bad meaning of it, but like being medium. You don't have like to pursue big things to be happy. You can be like mediocre in this sense, and this would be the best way to be happy. And I agree with this line of thought.
Amazing, very good. André, I have 3 questions left for you. Let's do it.
Okay.
Okay, André, from Brazil, next question for you is, do you think your priorities have changed since you were younger?
Oh, for sure. As I said, I am happy with mediocrity, with being like a medium person. And as long as I can stay happy in this crazy world. And I wasn't like this. I had some big aspirations. I wanted to be big, to be huge, to be famous with something. I don't want that anymore.
And do you believe that happiness is a choice?
I wouldn't say that, because I know some people have big trouble with things. Of course, they can't find happiness, but it's harder for some people than for other. And there are people who have lots of things and can't be happy as well. And it's a battle, I would say.
Good point.
You have to fight for it.
2 questions left for you. Let's do it. Before the next one, there is one of your class that you gave, through your career. Like there is like a special class that you gave, or that you had a big impact on you, something that you always will remember, if you can share.
Class I taught.
Yeah, like a class that when you are teaching your students, like for some reason it was very, I'm sure they're all of them, they are very interesting, you always learn, but there's something that's okay, that class, for some reason it was one of the most special ones, if you can share.
I wouldn't choose a class, but as I said, in the pandemic, I did something that the method, I loved it. And it was like I recorded some video classes, short ones, like in like 3 parts of 10 minutes, for example, sometimes a little longer. And the students watches the classes, and we had like the meeting time. We called it I don't know in English actually, but I think synchronic, something like this, when everyone is present. I opened like a lot of different meeting rooms.
Oh, wow.
And put the students in groups of 5 students.
Wow.
And some questions for them to discuss. And like in the more traditional law classes, like civil law, they had problems they had to solve with the knowledge of the classes. And like I also teach fundamental rights. And they had, I use, this one I love the most, because I can use news like, something that's being discussed, like in Brazil, for example, we are discussing a lot of freedom of expression. So what are the limits, the boundaries of freedom of expression? So I used like some news and put them to discuss based on what they saw on the video classes and their opinions. What do they think about it? And then to close the class, like some questions, close the questions, and they could do it together. And they had like 2 or 3 tries each person. But as they were in a group, they could like, oh, I'm going to try first, and then you use your try, and they could go discussing until they got like the total grade of the class. And it was like, we had no tests. This was the evaluation, the grades they got. And I think it was so great because some students, like, they feel insecure because they say, oh, but I am talking, I don't know if I'm talking it the right way, with what we are discussing is right, because I listen to the discussions, but as it's 5, 6 groups, I can't listen to them all the time. I like turn the audio of one group, then change a little, talk a little with them, give some feedback. But in regular classes, the student also doesn't know if he's learning or not.
Sure.
He knows that what the professor is saying, at least it should be correct.
Yeah.
But the student doesn't know if what he is understanding of it is correct. So their insecurity is like, for no reason. I won't say for no reason. Of course, they have reasons, but it's a false insecurity. It's a false security when the teacher is talking. They have, because they don't know what they are learning. But in this way I was doing the classes, I could hear them sometimes, and I could like help them. Oh, what you're saying, you understood something a little different, so it's not exactly it, but it has some merit. And I could see what they were understanding of my classes. So I thought this was very good. I was very happy doing classes in the pandemic. And now that I'm going back on regular classes, I don't know how I'm going to do. I want to teach the same way I taught before the pandemic.
And it's very interesting you saying that, you sharing that, because imagine people watch the interview, they're going to have ideas now, and they might follow your method of doing that. Can you imagine? Amazing. I love it.
That's very good.
Yeah. Next question for you is, what is the first thing that you think about when you wake up?
Oh, that I have to make coffee. And my wife will be happy when she wakes up and coffee is ready.
Do you consider yourself to be more of a day or a night person?
Nowadays, a day person. I used to be a night
Yeah,
person in my teenagehood, but now I am more of a day person for sure.
amazing. Ready for the last one?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Last question, André. André, before the last question, people watch the interview. Would you like to start a career as a law professor? What would be your best piece of advice for those people?
Well, doesn't just when you go, of course, you have to study, pass the tests. That's not, I don't have too much advice in this part. But when you are a professor, don't just go and like throw content, throw the lessons to the student. Information today is available in the internet. People can see it at any time. Don't give a class that could be like the student could get a book and read it and it's basically your class. Try to do a class that's where the students have the opportunity to do things that they can't by themselves. And in internet, they can't find information by themselves. So you can focus on like making discussions so they exercise their critical thought. You can like, oh, they have the internet, but they need to know what to look for, what to read. So teach that. Don't just teach the content. Oh, the law, the bill of number 123, the case John Doe versus the state. No, this they can find out by themselves. Try to develop skills in your students. That is something they have more difficulty doing by themselves.
Amazing. Good one. Last question for you is, what would be your ideal day?
My ideal day? Oh, it's a day where I do lots of different things. Of course, it's a weekend day. Like I wake up, have some coffee, a breakfast with my wife, and then I don't know, I play some games with my friends. Maybe I like chess, and sometimes we go to in front of the universe, play some chess, and come back, watch some series, and finish it playing Civilization with my wife, which is a strategy game.
Amazing. Relaxing, as you said, you like to be at home. You are a home guy. You like to be relaxing at home. Good one.
Yes. So maybe do some chores, because I don't like just to stay in the computer all day. So do some chores. I have a big backyard. For example, now I need to go there and cut the bananas, because you can't let a lot of bananas or they don't grow. So this is something I do every Sunday. So I go there and saw some bananas so they don't stay like a big bush of bananas.
Wow, amazing. It's not the end yet. Okay, let's play now the word association game. Okay, I'm going to give away some words. Just tell one word that comes to your mind. Big thinking, okay?
Yeah, I'm very bad at this, but let's go.
So, I hope you are enjoying the interview. Before we do the word association game, don't forget to give a like, don't forget to share this video, and also don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Just click on the button right there. Thank you so much and enjoy the word association game.
Money.
Not important.
Family.
Happiness.
One word for love.
Wife.
My
wife. Life.
To clarify, yes, your wife. Yes, one word for life.
Oh, short.
Sex.
Good.
Politics.
Complex, but I like it.
Religion.
Nah.
Fear.
Of the dark. Iron Maiden.
Friendship.
Talks. Nice talks.
Desire.
Happiness again.
Regret.
Try to don't have it.
Success.
Having enough.
Wish.
More peace, comprehension.
Happiness.
Happiness.
Yeah, one word for happiness.
I guess you said this one. I said enough.
No, I said wish before. You said no.
You said happiness. Oh, success. I said enough. Happiness. I said enough again.
Okay, all right. One word for Piracicaba.
Nostalgia.
One word for Barra do Bugres.
Quietness.
One word for Brazil.
Oh, I can't say this kind of words in a live YouTube. Brazil is not in a good moment.
Okay, you live this way. One word for English teacher.
Horizons. Opening new horizons. Horizons. My pronunciation is wrong.
And the last one now, law professor, one word.
Boring. Law is boring. As I said, I just teach the theoretical subjects. I don't like the law subjects. I love political science.
Amazing. Let's pretend now I'm going to meet your lovely wife for a coffee, and I'm going to ask your wife, tell me the most beautiful thing about André, and tell me something that he still needs to work on, to improve on. What she would say?
The most beautiful thing about me, she doesn't express this kind of feelings that much, but I think she likes my companionship a lot. And what I still have to improve, oh, that's a big list.
Which one? The first one of the list. Which one would be the top one?
I would say being more like see what needs to be done and do it. I am not very good at this.
Let's see, understand. Right, let's play now André and the magic box, and you can ask me a question. André, now you can ask me a question.
Okay. What's the meaning of life for you?
Oh my God, I love the question. André, the meaning of life for me, it's a possibility of you waking up every single day knowing that you're gonna make mistakes, you're gonna have wonderful memories, you're gonna meet people, people gonna cross your life, that they're gonna, live lessons, they're gonna live memories, they're gonna, be part of your life, they're gonna go one point. I think for me, meaning of life is for you to live every single day and appreciating every single day with the challenges that's gonna come, the happiness, with everything that life is gonna, somehow is gonna come to you. So yes, for me, living life is just, I'm an early bird. I love waking up morning. Like I love to see the whole day through, like the sun's shining, and even though when the weather's not good, but I just love living life. I think for me, living life is just for you always being yourself, or try to be yourself, and also, be compassionate to people, try to put yourself in other people's shoes, other people's life, try to be kind, you know what I mean? I know all of us, we have our life, and the world nowadays is so fast. Things are going too fast sometimes, and sometimes you cannot catch up because, but try to sometimes to put yourself in one, like have a moment with yourself and just be grateful to life, be grateful for what you have, you know what I mean? Because we have so much, and sometimes we forget how much we have. So yeah, for me, the meaning of life is just for you to live life in the best way you can, and also be able to accept that you're gonna have mistakes, you're gonna do mistakes, you're gonna have beautiful, as I mentioned, have beautiful memories, and that's part of life. That's what makes life interesting. It's for you to have those moments to make you grow, to make you understand yourself. Because imagine if life would be just flowers, skies, beautiful weather, you wouldn't learn anything, it would be boring, I think. Yeah. So sometimes let's appreciate as well the the thunderstorm, you know what I mean? The time where you don't understand that you're going to find yourself in challenged moments and then wondering why that's happening to you. It's life, you know what I mean? Life, it's like a roller coaster, just go up and down. You just need to know how to ride it and learn how to ride it.
Awesome.
Well.
Awesome.
But yeah, that's my interpretation, my meaning of life, what the meaning for me. André, did you have a good time?
Yes, I did, very much.
Thank you so much. Thanks for taking the time. Thanks for bringing your knowledge to the show. Thanks for sharing your experience in life as well. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. Before you go, if you can share a positive message or a positive quote, something that inspires you in life.
Yes. Oh, I am a nihilist, but in an optimistic way. And it has a relation to my question to you. Mm-hmm. And I see that we are in a small dot in the universe, to use Sagan, and our life in Earth will exist for a very short time of the universe existence, and this, at the same time, it makes our life seems meaningless. It can make our life be full of meaning, because if everything we do, everything humanity does, will be nothing in trillions of years, we can give the meaning of life that we want, and we can pursue the meaning of life that it's better to us. That's why I made you the question. Mm-hmm. It seems a little down, but for me, it's what makes me happy, to know that even all the problems of Earth will be meaningless in some years. And so let's enjoy the good moments, enjoy the bad moments as well, as you said.
Yeah.
So that's it.
Amazing. Yeah, that's what, again, we need to be appreciated for everything what comes. You just need to learn how to deal with, or even if you don't learn, you know what I mean, you're going to get the message in the future, you're going to understand in the future. Just leave it, just take the moment, but leave the moment. I think that's the moment is a gift, because the past is already gone. The future we don't know. So let's leave the moment. Yeah. I think that's
sure. Sad days are what make happy days happy.
Totally, absolutely. It's necessary as well sometimes for lessons, for sure. André, it was a pleasure. Regards to your wife, to your family, and let's see you in Barra de Bugres one day. When come to Barra next time, to Brazil, for sure. We're gonna go for a
sure,
fight or something. Okay, thanks so much. It was a pleasure.
I appreciate the invitation. Thank you very much. Valeu, falou, até mais.
So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, first, subscribe to our channel, and after that, just go to our website, www.williamandthemagicbox.com, and send us a request saying why you'd like to be part of the show. And I see you there. Bye bye, see you next time.